Oh, God. That was sick. I don't know how well I didn't think I even got a hook hook. Might be an upgrade too. Yeah, I think so. Oh man, he spoiled that bro.
Chasing man, you show us how to perform. Well, your style's been changed because we're so vain, but you'll take a sunset for stone. Look out, honey, you're bad.
We'll get those life vests zipped and clipped, strap down those rods, and stash away those tackle bags because we are going fishing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bass to Anglers podcast. I'm your host, Keith Nicewanger, and in this episode, we're going to talk to John Cox. Yes, that John Cox. We're going to find out which tours he's going to fish this year. You know John, he has fished 20-plus events in each of the last several years, and we're going to find out tonight what he's going to do in 2022. But first, if you like the content we produce on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Your subscriptions mean a lot to us. And leave us a comment if you're so inclined. We are the Western representatives for Ducket Fishing. You know these guys. The strongest pro staff in all of tournament fishing. We're adding new dealerships just about every week. If you have a tackle shop or know of one that we should call on, send us a DM on Instagram or go to our website, bass2anglers.com, and send us an email. We would love to tell you about the Ducket Fishing lineup of pro-driven rods, reels, and baits. Our guest tonight fished the Major League Fishing's Bass Pro Tour, the Elite Series, and Major League Fishing's Big 5 Pro Circuit in 2021. He has a win on tour this past season, having won the Major League Fishing Big 5 Pro Circuit event at Smith Lake. He's now qualified for 4 Bassmaster Classics and 8 Major League Fishing Championships. He won the 2016 Forest Wood Cup. John Cox, welcome back to the Bass Tour Anglers podcast. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Oh, man, thanks for having me on.
It is 4 classics now, right?
I think so. I don't know. They're all kind of blended in. I am excited. This coming year, 2022, I'm going to get to practice for that one. So that classic. So I am kind of excited for that.
Well, I was looking up your stuff, and you've been in 3, and we know you got in for this coming one. So I think that makes 4.
Okay, yeah, something like that.
Hey, we're going to jump right into the meat and potatoes here, John. You fished 20-plus tour events on 3 different tours in each of the last 2 seasons. I think the question that all of bass fishing world wants to know is, what will you fish in 2022? You're requalified for the elites, the Major League Fishing BPT and Major League Fishing Pro Circuit. The NPFL was accepting applications. I mean, what are you going to do in 2022?
Oh man, it was super tough. All the organizations are great trails. I mean, I really enjoyed watching the NPFL this year. My buddy Keith Carson was on there doing well, and it was just really neat to see a lot of those guys, out there, guys we wouldn't normally see on some of the trails, on the live coders. That was really cool. And, the Bass Pro Tour, every fish count, it was really refreshing and upbeat and fun. Really enjoyed that this year. And then, the elites and pro circuit were awesome too. I mean, just the regular traditional 5-fish, really enjoyed them. But for next year, I think we're pretty much going to probably do the pro circuit, and probably the bass elites, just because there's just so much going on, and there's some conflict with schedules and stuff. So it's just going to be a little too hard. I'm going to miss, I think if I try to do all three, I'm going to miss like 4 events, to where it's just not financially, and then you're looking at going into those tournaments, having over $10,000 invested in an entry fee, having to pay those other ones and not be at. So I think right now we're just going to do those 2 trails. I don't know. Maybe I looked a little bit at the MPFL schedule. They kind of moved some dates around. I don't know if that's a thing or possibility or not, but you never know. And, but I'm pumped because the schedules look good. And, man, I don't know. I'm excited to get out there.
John, we did a thing on this podcast a couple of months ago when all the schedules came out, and I went and plotted all the events that you would try to be at this year, and it was impossible. I didn't know if you were going to do it. But
we looked at a bunch of different. We were thinking, okay, we can leave a boat here and a boat there, and fish one day here, and then fly to that one for a day and just get a day in on each. And we just sat down. There was just too much going on.
So what does that look like? About 16 events? That seems a little light for you.
Yeah. I think because we're in the Classic.
Yep.
We're in the Red Crest. And,
that's right.
And then hopefully we'll make the Pro Circuit Championship.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's maybe 16 to 18 maybe. And honestly, whatever it was, I think it's only 3 off from what we fished last year. So it's still a lot of tournaments. I don't think I'm going to have to miss any. There might be one conflict with the Pro Circuit Championship, which we don't know if we're even going to make it in that one. That's right. Going to be the top 40 in points to go to that one. But it is on St. Lawrence River, and like I love the St. Lawrence. At least this year I loved it. But that was the only that's the only date that we have any kind of conflict. So we'll see.
Now, last season, there were at least a couple situations where you literally finished a tournament, packed up the family, got in the car and drove all night and ended up at the ramp for the start of the next event. Does 2022 have any of that, or is there a little breathing room for you?
I feel like there's a little more breathing room. I think there might be one or 2 tournaments where if we make the final day, we'll be cutting it close, making the actual tournament. But like for the most part, I think I might miss practice only a day or 2 of maybe only 2 tournaments next year. So I'm excited. I think I'm gonna get a lot more preparation for each event. So I'm I don't know. Maybe it'll go good. I don't know.
It's such a compelling story. I mean, you fish the way fans want to see people fish, which is all the time, everywhere, and it's pretty cool. How do sponsors react to the kind of schedule you kept over the last 2 years? I mean, do they still require you to do in-person stuff like at shows and things like that, or is that still part of your contracts?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm able to make it to something, I definitely try to go. I know with COVID, everything's been kind of weird, and I don't know how next year is going to be boat show wise, because I mean, it's, we're pretty much sold out for like the next, I don't know, almost 2 years. So I don't really know, but I still go to some things. It's just, it's hard to make a lot of things when you're just fishing constantly, and I think sponsors are cool with, getting that live coverage and being, just being out there,
when you say sold out, do you mean the Crestliner?
Yeah, the Crestliners. I can't even get myself one. So I'm piecing, I'm working on mine from this year, and hopefully gonna get a new one in for next year. But yeah, I mean, they're just so backed up. Everybody's buying boats and motors too. I mean, it's just with everything's getting everybody's buying.
Yeah, I would say that's got to make people happy. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Change. It's inevitable. To improve, you must adapt. The sport is evolving. A paradigm shift is a fundamental change of basic concepts. Don't get left behind. Introducing Paradigm. Paradigm Reels by Duckett Fishing. Pro-driven.
We're talking to John Cox. He is, of course, fishes everything. He's got to be America's favorite angler because no matter whether you're a Major League Fishing fan or a BASS fan, he's fishing your events. So you really can't be too upset with him on this. What was the off season like this year? Did you add any sponsors? Anything new?
Not really, nothing too new. It's pretty much the same as I know. I mean, still working on some things. I think it's about the same as last year. And man, I'm telling you, as soon as I fished that last event, all season, I was like, wow, I was so thankful, I didn't catch COVID at all, the whole season. In the last tournament, I caught it, and I had to miss. So, and then, so that was just a rough way to end it. But yeah, it went good. But, the off season, I got home and I decided I was going to sell one of the houses, that I have next door to the house I'm living in. And so I worked on it for like 7 weeks straight, got it all fixed up and ready to go. And so that's about it.
I saw that on Instagram. That's pretty doggone tempting, I tell you.
Yeah, it's nice. And we haven't sold it yet, but it's hard to just, I don't want to give it away because I mean, it's an amazing, it's got an amazing view. It's a great house.
It's got a nice lake behind it too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, it's worth it with the lake back there. So I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah.
House for sale. Inquire within.
Yeah.
So, do you get to go up to the Max Scent Labs and get involved in any of the product development or be involved in any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So, I was actually just talking with my buddies, and we tried to make a trip there earlier in the year, and we didn't make it. It's so busy. Keith's fishing NPFL, and I was fishing a bunch of stuff, so we never made it. But we were just talking before I talked to you, and that's what we were like, man, we need to make a trip up there, and get with the guys and just see if we have some stuff that we've been wanting to make. We have no idea how to do it, and maybe get some prototypes going and stuff, and see what happens.
Yeah. The Max Scent end of it seems to be pretty good, but the design of the lures, I'm guessing they probably lean on you guys quite a bit to come up with new ideas.
Yeah, they do a lot. I mean, a lot of the guys, they know a lot more of it than I do. I just like throwing it. They're like, hey, try this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, or like, this is great, or we should maybe change this some. So I really enjoy it, and that's kind of what I do. In my off time, like even like these next 2 months before the season gets going, I got a lot of new baits that Berkeley came out with that I'm gonna try them and try to learn stuff with them, and I think that really helps going into the season. When you have something, you got to get the jump start on it over some of the other guys.
One more off-season question. So a lot of the guys on tour, they're deer hunters in the off-season. For the off, you already talked about doing a lot of work on the house, but I mean, what does John Cox do for fun? I mean, is it just more fishing, or what is it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I really wanted to get some peacock fishing in, and we just haven't had time. I mean, it's just I know this time is so short for us, and and just trying to get everything, the house stuff situated and moving, and so we've been really working hard on finishing that before kicking the year off. But I really enjoy peacock fishing, and
there's some pretty good fisheries down in your area. I mean, I know they're down there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have a bunch of great lakes. We got a bunch of lakes that are managed by FWC and stuff, and they're like stocked, and they got a lot of giant bass in them. And it's all different kinds of water. It's not just the Florida Okeechobee, miles and miles of grass line. We do have some lakes that are a little bit deeper, and docks, and you can really change up the scenery just driving right down the street and dumping in at the next ramp.
That's neat stuff. You got the Bassmaster Classic coming up in early March. Lake Hartwell, you've won there before. I see like a little twinkle in your eye there. You fond memories of that place, right?
Yeah, I've had some really bad memories there and not got them, but it really helped me, the last few years after that, do a lot better there. And man, I mean, anytime, the Classic, being in March and any of those big terms, Red Crest in March on Grand Lake, I mean, that I just love that pre-spawn, those first spawners. Like, I just love that time of year. And I mean, I can't wait.
You mentioned you're gonna get a chance to spend some time there before the Classic. When will you go? Will you go pre-practice or?
No, I probably won't go pre-practice. I kind of decided to stop doing that a few years ago. I think because I spent so many years pre-practicing for them, that I like really spent a lot of time on a lot of the lakes already, the last like 10 years or 12 years or whatever it's been. So I was just planning, like, I've always missed the 3 days of the practice for the Classic, like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the week before the Classic,
Okay.
That we're allowed to practice.
The official practice.
Yeah, the official practice.
Wow.
So that's what I'm excited to make the official practice this year.
John, we've talked about this before. You have enough knowledge of the lakes that these events are on that you don't feel it helps you to go there before and off limits period and look around then.
Well, I think some people, I think it does help them. Me, I get too scattered brain. Like I almost need to find less stuff for it to be a productive tournament. Like I can't go and spend, like some guys can go and they can learn the whole lake, and get so dialed. For me, it just messes me up. I feel like I do better finding a little bit of less and having less options. And I mean, it's just, you kind of like learn yourself over
Absolutely.
all these years, and that's just something that seems to work for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm.
So when does 2022 get started for you? Are there events in January? When are your first events?
Yeah. So the very first one is Sam Rayburn Pro Circuit event, the end of January. So that's cool. I mean, that was, I don't remember. I mean, gosh, it sounds awful, but I guess that wasn't this year, but that was probably last year we started there. And, and then I caught him on that Fritz side. It was so cool. It was such an awesome tournament. And, going back that same time of year, I'm excited. It was a really fun tournament.
Very good. Very good. Well, John, I really appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. I know this is a question that people want to know about. They want to know, what is John going to fish this year? But that seems like a pretty manageable schedule. And, you might get a little rest along the way. It sounds like a pretty good thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually going to get to do a little more fun fishing this year in between them. That was the struggle this year. It was always event after event, and which I loved. It was great. But now I'm going to get to actually probably fish with the kids a little more, and maybe fish some new places that I haven't been. Traveling in between some of the lakes and stuff. So.
Very good, John. Appreciate you being with us tonight. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you during the season.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right.
See you
Take
guys.
care. Bye.
See you. Bye.